gather them. To be heard, this hoard the heaven must gather them from the Icarus poet, the poems that have fallen from the mind and raped by memories. The poems are expressions of the monstrous soul, the laments of a male mother. This mythobiography of the god poet leaves footprints in a shoebox reality. Men don't cry when they become a word alchemist, a heretic of reality. Gather them, to be heard as poems, as the great life sleeping in human form, as lightning bolts of awareness, as pages exiled from a living book, a gathering of words made from elder flesh. I must gather my poems, my space-time journeys and longings, enslaved and colonized as humans who are inward poems made flesh. I must harvest the wheat from my playing field. I gather the dead warrior drunk on images, the flesh invocation that brings the fire and water, the changing faces behind the mirror, the dark touches of the mad poet, the tears in suitcase carrying echoes of the mind, the Death Eater becoming the awakened. I gather my red poem from the slave theater as a caravan of faceless men rise from my descent. I'm not a prison mind in a flesh odyssey, though I am still writing the nightmare to be unnamed to be named, as a harbinger with poems of light and darkness as I step off the cracked pedestal. I am a monstrous soul rising. This Achamoth defies the architects of my hungers, as I'm a life and death navigator, sailing through the storms beneath the skin, as foreign installations attempt to make my similitudes into night ships and derail my trains of thought. My poems are my dances in time around this dancer from the dance. Theater of the mind is death and rebirth, gathering broken pieces of a mirror. Gather them, the forgotten, the lost, the unfinished. My inner children rise from all the sunken places. From the slave names, rise. From the minds of the fallen, rise. These are poems as strangers, as lovers, as friends, as family, gathering now in my name. Rise the living books of the poet. Gather them from all places, the fallen daughter who becomes the son, who becomes the daughter rising. Gather them. These are my poems coming together to rise the living books.